Is what you think is attracting him actually a major turnoff? Join us and find out now. Welcome to Live, Love, and Marry Wizerr, where our mission is in our name. Ecclesiastes 10:10 says, if the axe is dull and one does not sharpen the edge, then he must use more strength. But wisdom brings success. And that is our goal on this podcast, to bring you wisdom in your dating life, in your social life, as a single person. And we have a fantastic guest who always brings the heat with him when he comes. And you all know and love him, Pastor Legette. He will be with us shortly. Welcome. How are you doing? It's just me today. The hosts are off doing their own thing. And so it's just me. But we have a fantastic episode for you. Do I have any updates? I am steadily on my Instagram game. I am posting regularly. People are liking it. And even a guy is liking it. So I don't know what his deal is, but we're watching him closely because he's been following actually both of my Instagram accounts. My business account, he's commented and liked a couple of things, but then lately it's been ramping up. So who knows what could be happening here. So I will maybe see if I have an update for you all next week. I'm going to count how many times he likes my post, and I'll let you all know. So, Onetia, that was for you. Well, today we have a fantastic episode. As I said, Pastor Legette is here. There he is. And there's his book, The Art of Womanhood. You definitely want to get that. Our topic today is 5 ways women make themselves look desperate. And these are major turnoffs for guys. And Pastor Legette, I think, is the perfect person to enlighten us, because that's what he does. He likes to teach women how to be and not be in relationships. So we are happy to have him here, and we will bring him on. Hi, Pastor Legette. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good. Anytime I'm in your presence, in your space, I'm always good.
Well, I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, we are definitely happy to have you back. Onetia is very sad that she is not here, because she likes to be here when you're here. But something came up unexpectedly.
Okay.
And so it's just me and you.
All right.
Which we've done that for a long time, because for 3 months he coached me. He taught me a lot as my relationship coach, which he really will be forever. But our official sessions ended a few weeks ago. And I was just reviewing some of the material, because I want my axe to be sharp. And so you got to review the material, because it was a lot. It was a lot. Amen. And hey, Susan, how are you? Nice to see you as always. And let me just say, The Art of Womanhood, his link is in the description of this YouTube channel. So if you're interested in talking to him, getting into his program, or just, having a consultation and seeing what he can do, I mean, I'm already going to tell you it's fantastic, and you really should invest in yourself in this way. but but his link is in the description, so you all can do that. But I want to jump right in here and get started. So I'm just going to start. Pastor Legette, what did you think when I asked you to talk about this topic?
Well, first and foremost, I'm glad that we are going to address this subject and these various things that we're going to put on the table. Because, and look, I've said this before, so I'm intentionally being redundant. There are a gazillion awesome women relationship life coaches out here, right? They're gazillion, they're everywhere, and they're good, they're incredible. But not one of them, from an experiential point of view, has ever walked in my shoes and walked in our shoes. So they don't know how we think from an experiential point of view. They don't know how we function from an experiential point of view because they've never been us. And so by talking to a male life coach, relationship coach, you get it directly from the horse's mouth, and you're gonna get information that a woman cannot share with you. Okay, because she just doesn't have that experience. Just like I cannot coach a woman from a woman's perspective. That's not my experience. Okay. My wife does that, who's a licensed therapist and licensed family therapist. She does that. I come to it from a different angle. So I'm glad, because Lorraine, there's just a lot of women out here who just are not going to know some of the things that we are going to address, but they need to.
Yes. And before we go forward, let me say congratulations, because you got married since the last time you were on the show. So let the crowd roar. Super excited for you on your new journey. Okay, well, let's just jump right in. What is number one?
Number one, and this one is easy. And the operative word is easy. Okay, the operative word is easy. A survey was taken online, and the question was asked of men: do you find that women are too easy sexually? And the women and the men overwhelmingly said yes. Overwhelmingly. So look, let me say this to you. When a man is telling you that you are too easy sexually, you are too easy sexually. Okay?
Yeah.
And it means, now here's what that means. Here's what it means. It means that you are not using knowledge that you could use to give yourself leverage in the relationship. Here's what I mean. When you understand how we function, you're going to be in a far better place. And here's how we function. We are incredibly competitive individuals. It is a biblical principle. We value what we work for.
Okay.
We devalue, and not only is that biblical, but that just comes from life in general, right? I think I used this term on in this space previously. If you, and I'm going to come back to my point. If if my car was in an accident and let's say I didn't have insurance, right? And so I had to save up. It's going to cost thousands of dollars, which meant I had to save up for months and months and months. And you had a hoopty, Lorraine. And you and I have become best of friends. We really have, right? Right. When we don't talk, I miss you, right? We become best of friends. And so you say, Pastor, look, I got a hoopty over here. You are more than willing to use it. And so, I get up and, and we all know, especially up here in the Northeast, that when you have very cold weather and snow, all of that salt erodes pavement and stuff. So every spring you got potholes galore. Well, I got your hoopty, but it's got dents galore. Right? It's got dents galore. So if I'm at the supermarket and I bump into somebody or the cart comes down and hits it, I mean, it's no big deal. It's got dents. You when I give it back to you, you are not going to know that I put another 2 or 3 dents in it because it's already got dents.
That's right. That's right.
Right? But if I go out and get me a Mercedes, it costs me 70, 80, 100,000 plus. When I go to the supermarket, I'm parking way up to here. I'm down the street. I'm in the next, Lorraine, I'm in the next zip code. Right?
Yeah.
Because I have to work for this. And because I have to work for it, I value what I have to put my time and effort into. Right. We are the same way. We are incredibly competitive. And so when you walk into our life and we don't have to put forth any effort and you go like this, the average guy is going to take it. Even the brothers in the church.
Right. That's what I said. Even the Christian ones or the ones in the church.
They're taking it. But at the same time, you are working at a disadvantage because you have thrown your leverage out the window. You have thrown out the thing that will draw him to you, because we're not looking for an ordinary, everyday, average woman. We are not, because girlfriends got to go home to meet mama and sisters. And we're not taking anybody home.
Right.
We will party with you. We will hop in bed with you. But when it comes for a man to take girlfriend home to meet mama, she's gonna be on point.
Yeah.
And so you're working at cross purposes with yourself. You are not drawing. And women have no idea how detrimental that is. Okay. And then you add this.
Okay.
The morning after syndrome is real. Now, I've been a pastor for 41 years, and I've been on the planet for 70 years. And all those 70 years, I haven't always been in the church. I have a past, y'all. Okay? And before I came a Christian, when you grow up in the jungle, you learn the laws of the jungle. You do what all the other brothers are trying to do. Morning after syndrome is real. Okay? And so you're putting yourself at a disadvantage when you're too easy. Now, he will enjoy it till the cows come home, but he's never going to tell you what I'm now telling you, that you're too easy. No brother's telling you that.
Yeah. And I think that I want to highlight something that you said that I think is important. When they say you're too easy, they're not saying we're not going to have sex with you. They're saying we don't think of you as wife material.
Yeah.
Immediately, you're almost off the table as that. Like, we're going to do whatever we want to do. And so in this forum, on this podcast, and most of the people watching, they're going to be people who want to be married. They don't want to be, and most women want to, no matter what people are saying right now. We're created for that kind of longevity and commitment, and and one person. But you want to be in a long-term healthy marriage relationship, and he no longer sees you that way if you're easy.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So
y'all got that?
Yeah, you are working at cross purposes. Now, so you meet a guy and he tells you, well, look, if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna get it from all these other sisters. See ya. Then you need to go over there and get it.
Yeah.
Okay. And your respect increases.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another thing. If you're that easy with me,
yeah,
and you just met me,
yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to be faithful to me when we're in a committed relationship and or marriage if you're that easy?
Right.
Trust me, dudes are thinking that way.
Oh, absolutely. But here's another thing that I'm sure you're familiar with, but maybe the rest of our audience may not be in is body count. Because a lot of men in the world, or not in the world, they don't bother counting how many people they sleep with, but they don't want to think that the woman that they're with has a high body count. Some people don't want any body count, but some people don't mind, one or two. But that body count thing is a real deal. Of course, I always ask the question, who are you having sex with if you don't want women to have a high body count, but you want to sleep with all the women? But that's a whole different topic for a different day. But it's real.
Yeah. Oh, you better believe it. He can be a slut, but he just doesn't want you to be a slut.
Exactly. Not until you get married and get in bed with him. Then then it's okay. Yeah. But so this is a very important thing. And besides the fact that we have our platform is Christian, faith-based. Right. So we don't believe that you should be having sex before marriage anyway, let alone in an easy fashion. Exactly. But we're just trying to give you the real deal. Is this is a major turnoff for guys. Yep. And it does make you look desperate when you just throwing it at them sexually. Okay, yep. What's number two?
Number two, women that have no self-dignity and no self-respect.
Okay, break that down.
Women who don't have any boundaries, women that will allow me to do anything to them in the relationship, right? I can cheat on you and you take me back every time. I can talk to you any kind of way, especially in public, and you tolerate that foolishness. I can put my hands on you.
Mercy. Mercy.
And the relationship goes on and we continue.
Yeah.
And so when you tolerate that kind of foolishness, his respect for you goes through the basement. He may stay with you. He may take all the stuff that you're offering. But and I said this on this podcast before also. When you think that way, when you permit that kind of stuff, you become a doormat. And the doormat has one function. That is to be walked on. And that is exactly what is going to happen to you. And I've said this a couple of times, Lorraine, and I cannot say it enough. When you come into a relationship, you must have self-dignity and self-respect, and you must teach that man how to love you and treat you the way you want to be loved and treated. Because if you don't, he will treat you the way he wants to treat you, or he will treat you the way he knows how to treat you, which may be totally unacceptable.
Right. Okay?
Right. So, and here's what I want everybody all these ladies to understand. Power respects power.
Okay.
But power exploits weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Power respects power, but power exploits weakness. So let me give you a perfect modern day example. I couldn't come up with a better example if I stayed on here for the next 24 hours trying to think of it. Right?
Okay.
So here you go.
Go for it.
Donald John Trump.
Okay.
He respects Vladimir Putin, dictator, powerful. He respects Mohammed bin Salman, of Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, dictator, powerful. He respects Kim Jong-un of North Korea, dictator, powerful. He respects the leader, I'm forgetting his name, it's escaping me, but he's the leader of Hungary who transitioned Hungary from a democratic society to an autocratic society where he's a dictator and powerful. He respects all of those individuals. That's why he's trying to transition America into an autocracy, and he wants to become a dictator because that's who he respects.
Right.
He doesn't respect any individual that becomes a flunky to him and they end up in prison. He has no respect for those kinds of people, okay? Because they're weak and he knows he can use them. Power respects power, but power exploits weakness.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Wow. Love that. I love that.
So
I don't love that it happens, but it's just the truth, and that's what we're here to tell, the truth.
So here's what I want women to know. We are attracted to women who have self-dignity, self-respect, and who are powerful. We are drawn to those kinds of women who love themselves, who know what they want, who won't tolerate dumb stuff. We are drawn to them. So let me tell you about my wife.
Okay. Tell us about your wife.
Tell you about my wife. So we start talking. And
was that her that walked back behind you a little while ago in the yellow?
Yeah.
Because I never got to meet her. Hi.
So we kind of bump into each other because we had met like 27 years earlier and been friends. You know, myself, my wife Angela, herself, and her husband, and both our spouses passed away in that interim. So, you know, I called her and we started talking. And so I said, look, I need you to know that I practice celibacy and I'm not giving myself to a woman until wedding night. She said, good, because you wasn't getting none anyway. And guess what? And so before I get to that one, so we go out on our first date, June 16, last year. And so, you know, I'm a gentleman. I open doors, whole 9 yards, you know, hold chairs, whole 9 yards. So I don't know if it was that night or the next day. I said, hey, I want you to notice that I'm a gentleman. I open doors. She said, you better, because if you hadn't, there wouldn't be date number 2. And you know what that did? Lorraine, you know what that did? That did this. It drew me. Because I knew that I had to bring my A game, and I knew that I could not treat her any kind of way that I wanted to treat her, because she knew what she wanted, and there were certain things she was not going to tolerate from me.
Yes. I love that.
Instantly, my respect for her went through the roof.
I love that. I think that's just so, it makes so much sense, even though it's the opposite of what most women do. Right. But the reality is, the Hope Diamond, they don't put that out in the middle of the street so just anybody can tell. It's like, you protect what's valuable. And if you think you're valuable, then you're going to protect not just your body, but your standards, your needs, your desires. You're going to protect that from any Joe Blow coming along just saying some nice words, and all of a sudden he got you. It's just like, no, you need to bring your A game, because I'm A worthy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So no, I love that. I love that.
Yeah. You ladies, you have to have standards. And when a guy, and you know, Lorraine, we had a whole session on this. And I required you to identify what are your standards, what are your qualifications, what are your boundaries, and if he violates them, what are the consequences? He's got to know what they are, because what it does is it draws him and it sends the message. You know what? This woman, this sister's different.
Yeah.
I got to bring my A game. What I did in the past is not going to work here. It's different. And guess what? We are looking for different.
Women, they are looking for different. They're
Absolutely.
looking for different. You don't want to be like everybody else.
Nope.
You want to stand out. All right, what's number 3?
Yeah. And number 3 is, and before I get there, look, what kind of time frame are we dealing with?
We got about 30 more minutes.
Okay, good. So before I move on here, I got to drive home the point.
Okay.
How men are attracted to women who are powerful, who know what they want, who have standards, who have morals, who are not afraid of speaking truth to power. We're attracted to those kinds of women. I know you know where I'm going. The ultimate story I can share with you.
Okay, go for it.
Abigail and David.
Yep.
It's the ultimate story. Because David was going to her house to kill her husband and all the males, and she overhears. She learns that her husband was rude to David. She knowing that David was a man of blood and was a warrior and was killing people. She hopped into motion. She got her donkeys and she filled them with food and took off. And when she bumped into him, and here's what every woman out there needs to know. When she bumped into him, he was in a murderous mindset. And he had his boys with him. He said, strap up, because if tomorrow this time, if every man in that camp is not dead, my name is not David. And when she bumped into him, she jumped down off her horse or her donkey, and she did 10 or 11 things. Lorraine, I'll walk you through all of them.
Yeah, you did.
He was masterful. Right? She exuded such confidence and such power and such strength that when she opened her mouth, David shut his mouth. He didn't say one word. Not one. And she was so in control and so awesome that homeboy said when it was over, oh man, woo, oh man, that woman, oh my gosh, that woman was incredible. And when he heard that her husband had a heart attack and died, he sent his boys after her. He said, that woman is mine. Don't even think about looking at her, because if you look at the wrong way, your neck will be severed from your head. She's mine. And he married her within a couple of days.
Yep.
And you would think that he was the warrior and the killer and the murderer, and she was just a little woman, that there would have been a mismatch. Here's what I want every woman on this planet to know. When you, and I'm going to talk about this at the end, because there's 3 categories of women that I've identified. She was category 1. I don't even have time to talk about category 1 and 2. I'll talk about category 3. But she was category 1. When you are masterful and you put a woman who was masterful against the most powerful and influential man on the planet, it is no contest. He is no contest for her because of the gifts that God has given you, if you know what they are and you know how to use them.
Yeah.
A talented woman is an aphrodisiac to the average guy. It's a
not the weak guy, but the average guy, the good guy.
Yeah.
Some guys don't like that. They don't like power because they are distorted in their thinking.
Yeah, because
but real men,
they're intimidated by it.
Who are powerful, like David. David was
they're
a real
intimidated
man.
by it. I have no use for a doormat. I got a doormat. I don't need to go to bed with one every night. I want a woman who makes me respect her and speak to her properly and treat her properly. Yeah. Right? That's powerful.
Yeah. And the thing about Abigail that I'll say as we move to the next one is that she did all of that while still being humble.
Yeah.
She didn't come off arrogant or like a boss babe. Now, I'm not against women. I have a business myself, but like she didn't come off in that way. Yeah. She did all of that while still being humble, and that just won him. Yeah. And just a plug here, that's what Pastor Legette's program actually helps you do. It's no shame if you don't know these things, but if you have the opportunity to learn them, hit the link in the description and connect with him, because I've been massively changed just by those 3 months that I spent. Okay, Pastor Legette, what's number 3?
Number three are women who are desperate to have a man in their life. And so because of it, they lower their standards. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I'm with you. This is a huge one for me that I really try to fight against in all my seminars and speeches and all of that stuff.
So it typically happens. Let me say it this way. It happens more often with women who cross the 30th birthday threshold. Okay. And I've said before, I say it again. When a woman gets to 35 and there's no man on the horizon, and 36 and 37, and then starts creeping and inching ever closer to 40, and then 41 and 40 plus, and there's no man on the horizon, the tendency is for them to conclude, oh my gosh, my dreams and my aspirations are never going to be realized. And many women compromise their standards, where 10, 15, 20 years ago, they would never have entertained this brother over here. But now they're thinking it may never happen. So they've grown up with the concept of air beats nair. So I'd rather have a guy, even if he's not all that I ever wanted and dreamed of. It's better to have him in my bed, having that warm body in my bed, than me going to bed by myself every night and waking up to myself every morning.
Yeah.
And so that desperation causes women to compromise, and it comes back to bite them in the you-know-what. Many of those marriages ends up on the divorce heap.
Or just miserable, because some people would rather be divorced than be miserable. So,
yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, no,
absolutely.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
So, it's just like, you gotta love the life that you have before you can love that life.
You have to. You have to.
And so it's just my passion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy your singleness. Get out, do things. Stop being stuck at your church as if your church is the only church on the planet.
Yeah.
Get out and visit. Go to other churches. Go to camp meeting. Go to federations. Go to other stuff.
Just go.
Discoverable.
Yes.
It's like your devices. Make yourself discoverable.
Make yourself discoverable. That was a hashtag. We should do a hashtag. Make yourself discoverable.
Absolutely.
All right, number 4, Pastor Legette.
Number 4 is a woman who was always involved and embroiled in mess. Always gossip. Always when the deal goes down and there's a mess and people are upset and mad because somebody said this. Well, who said that? Well, so-and-so told me that you said your name is always involved in that mess.
Yes. Oh, this is good. This is a good one. This is a good one. This is one that many women don't even think about, or very few people even talk about. But yeah, go ahead. This is good.
Your name is always involved in you because you're carrying a bone and you're gossiping and you're talking, and no man, the average man, does not want to be with that kind of woman. You always got something going on. You're always involved in other people's business.
Yeah.
Always gossiping, always talking about people. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, I couldn't.
You having like PTSD right now.
Just the thought of me being with that woman gives me a headache. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that because we like peace.
Right. Yep. I was just going to say
we
that.
like peace. We want to be with a peaceful woman, right? And so that's number 4. That is definitely number 4 all day long.
All right. Okay. Number 5.
Number 5 is a woman who curses like a sailor.
Oh, okay.
Who has a foul mouth is an incredible turnoff, especially if he does not curse. Okay. It's just an incredible turnoff to us because we don't, you throwing out F-bombs and you cussing people out. Where's the Tylenol? No. It is such an incredible turnoff for women who curse as bad or if not worse than a guy. Now, and here's what I want to say. In spite of all of the advances that women have made in society, and I'm glad because women have been treated as second and third class citizens since probably Eve walked out.
Right after Eve.
Right after Eve, right? So I'm glad women have made these advances. But here's what I want women to know. It's still a man world and there's still a double standard. You cannot act, function, and behave like a man. There is a double standard that still exists in this world. And it's always suited towards a man. There's always going to be an excuse for a man. Well, he's just being a man.
Yeah. Yep.
Nobody's going to say, oh, she's just being. Nobody's saying that. Oh, right. Man, boy, that woman is, oh, she's a slut. Oh, my God. Oh, no, you don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Same thing, same behavior, different viewpoints on.
Absolutely. That is such a great point. And what's so interesting is even though, we come from a faith background, it's true of most men who are in the world too. They don't like for their women to talk like that. It's not just Christian men. It's almost all men. Some men don't care because that's just them. But like in general, that's a big deal for a lot of men.
And so here's another twist on that.
Okay.
And even for those who don't curse, right? And I'm gonna go back to Abigail. Abigail changed David's life, right? She never left her femininity and her womanness by the side of the road and took on a man's attitude and was all up in his face and was talking and whole 9 yards like look, ladies, you gotta know where the line is. Go to the line, but don't cross the line. Okay? Because look, what you have to understand that God made you different than he made us. He made the average woman with superior verbal skills. Right? He gave you verbal strength where he gave us physical strength. And so the average guy can't stand toe to toe and talk with a woman. And so when we're arguing, and because your mind works faster than ours, we can't keep up with you. And so we can't keep up with you. We get frustrated, and you're making point after point, and you slap us in the face with your words and your concept and all the things I'm doing wrong. And after a while, I just get okay, enough. Okay, enough. He said, no. You're gonna hear me today. You're gonna hear what I gotta. You gonna hit me? I wish you would. Ladies, don't go there with your man. Don't do it. Nothing good. Know when to cut it off. Even though you are absolutely right. Don't back him into a corner, because the average guy comes out swinging. And if a man ever puts his hands on you, he's wrong. I don't care what the reasoning is.
Right.
Don't give him the reason. Right? Don't give him that reason. Know when to cut it off. Control, please control this. It is a powerful tool. You got to learn how to use it.
No, I like that. And I think that the thing that I want to just talk a minute about is feminine energy, and just how you described Abigail, because I know Abigail's like your hero. Like she is like the foundation of just kind of a lot of the techniques that you even teach in his program that you can find. Click in the description if you want to be a part of that. But that Abigail, she came with strength and femininity, which those things are not opposite from each other.
Right.
But when we come in a masculine way, or try to do it the way men, or, kind of have that discussion or that argument the way men would do it, then it doesn't work the same way, because feminine energy actually has a lot of power to it.
It does. And see, what I want all the ladies to know, you can't come at us like a dude, because we may treat you like a dude. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. You can't come at me like everybody out here, like a dude. You can't have a dude's mindset. You can't have a dude's body posture and put your finger and get all up in my face. Because I've seen that behavior before. I'm feeling threatened. I'm going to respond. I'm going to meet that aggression.
Right. Exactly.
Right. But I don't need to do that because you're my woman. I need to respond appropriately, but you need to respond appropriately. And here's the Bible said it best. I'm trying to remember the text. A quiet. How does it go? I can't quote it verbatim. But a soft. The essence is a soft voice turneth away wrath.
Oh yeah, a soft answer turns away wrath.
It turns away wrath, and that's what Abigail did. She was able to say everything she wanted to say. She chastised him, but she did it womanly. Right? And he accepted the correction and never opened his mouth because he knew he was wrong. Right? So you can be ever so right, but the way you do it, I'm so hurt because you talk faster than I can respond. So I get so frustrated. I got to win the situation. So the guy comes out swinging. That's a lose-lose proposition. You've lost the moment, ladies.
Right.
Because you weren't in control of that. Okay. You can break me down. You can get close to me and talk to me and appeal to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be more effective than any curse word, any attitude, any of that. You can break me right down, just like Abigail did.
No, that's so good. And that's so true. And I mean, it's really the way that Jesus did it too. So, from that perspective.
Yeah.
But I think that this is a good word, not just for single people, but even more so for married women, because they are in the relationship right now where maybe there's been a lot of this, where it's like, maybe just go read the story of Abigail and see all of the things that she did, how she approached. She was righter than right. She couldn't have been more right. But it didn't matter if he was like so murderous that he was just going to roll over her and just kill her and kill anybody else too.
Right.
Because David did some wild out things when he was angry sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so,
but Lorraine, excuse me for cutting you off. Approach is everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You can be ever so right, and your approach is horrible, and the result is going to be horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's a personal story. My wife and I had a disagreement about something a couple of weeks ago. And we talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't call me out my name. She didn't go off on me. And the way she expressed it, it got to my heart.
Mm.
And I said, on the spot, I'm changing.
Wow.
And I never want to be guilty of that ever again.
Mm.
Because her approach was different.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, we maybe in a different approach, we might have been shouting at each other. That's not what she appealed to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it, and I changed on the spot because I knew I had to, because the approach was right.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And by the way, we've invited Mrs. Pastor Legette to come and join. He'll be back with us in July, and his wife will be with him, and they'll bring their collective, because she's a licensed marriage and family therapist. So God has brought them together, and they're going to bring their collective wisdom to bear for our audience. So you all do not want to miss that. I believe it's the 25th, but you certainly want to watch until we get to the 25th, because we got great programs besides that. So you said you wanted to talk about the 3 types of women, and you have a few minutes now to do that as we start to wrap up here.
So like category 3.
Mm-hmm.
Category 3 is the female. It is the category that all females are just naturally born into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? God designed it that you would graduate at least once, but hopefully twice. Because if you graduate twice, you get the master status. And when you master status, your relationship is going into the stratosphere. Okay? Because you're masterful at what you do in that relationship. But when you're born into category 3 and you never graduate, it means you're going to come into a relationship and you don't know how to affect that relationship. If the relationship goes left instead of when it should go right, you don't know how to change it. You don't know how to fix it. You don't know how to redirect it. Okay? Because maybe there wasn't a doting, loving father in your life, and he never taught you those things, or you never learned those things.
Yeah.
So category 3 females come into a relationship hoping, wishing, and praying that things go right, but when they don't, they don't know how to correct it or redress it and fix it. Okay? And so they end up compromised. That's why what I do is so important. I'm giving women the skill set that they need to be able to function as a single person, but even as a married person, if they're blessed to go on, to achieve that status.
Yes.
Because what I want all of you to know is God has blessed you with tremendous gifts. And when you utilize them, we are impacted.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Amen.
We've been married 2 months and 4 days. She's already changing my life. 2 months and 4 days. Already changing my life because of the skill set that God is giving her. You don't want to be when you are in a relationship and you don't know what your God-given gifts and skills are, and you're just going along with the flow. That average woman ends up experiencing more heartache and heartbreak than they should. Okay. You want to know. And so here's what I tell everybody who comes to my program. When there's a guy and the woman who's completed my program is interested in that guy, he may be interested in her, and he might even be interested in someone else. That other sister who hasn't come through my program, she don't stand a chance. She doesn't have the skill set. She might as well start focusing her attention on somebody else. She don't stand a chance.
And that's why I invested in the program.
Absolutely.
I got enough competition in the world. I need to stand out.
You are going to eliminate the competition. And so any sister, when Lorraine walks in the room and the guy is interested, whoever else he's been interested in, you better start looking for somebody else.
And I'm coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will be at that wedding. Thank you.
I know you will. Category number 2.
Well, the category 2 is the woman. The category. So that individual has graduated at least once.
Okay.
From female without any. They don't bring the category 3 female brings no skill set to the game and doesn't know how to affect the relationship or the marriage. Category 2 woman comes into the relationship. Comes into the relationship and has mastered at least one skill set. And that woman is skillful sexually, and she knows it, and she rocks his world. Now, she may be the worst cook the world has ever seen. She may be the worst gossiper on planet Earth. But she knows that she possesses a skill set that is set. She knows how to please and satisfy a man. Now, that is not the ultimate, but it's a darn good skill set to have when you're a woman. Amen.
Amen.
When you're married, because sex for Christians is for marriage.
Right.
Right. And look, and you can't be in a relationship and not discuss sex. You have to, because you got to find out if you're compatible. Right. The guy may want sex 3 times a week, and you may want sex 3 times a month. We're gonna have issues. I'm telling you right now. We're gonna have. You got to have those conversations.
There. The math ain't mathing.
Yeah, the math. The math ain't adding up. It ain't adding up. Not at all. So you got to have those conversations. But Christian adults can have those conversations without getting vulgar.
Right.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. And you need to, because you need to discover compatibility. Dating is about compatibility. Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then category number 1 is the master. The master is a woman who has identified her God-given gifts, and she brings them to bear in the relationship. and she uses her God-given gifts. She knows how to speak appropriately when she needs to. She knows how to speak truth to power when she needs to. She knows when to be soft and humble when she needs to. She knows how to take care of her man physically and sexually. She knows she's mastered all of the above. That man is not leaving or cheating on that woman because they're rare.
Yeah.
Okay? They're rare. And so when you find a gem, and when a guy says, I've never met a woman, I've never met another woman like you in his life, trust me, he's gonna protect that. Amen.
Okay. Now I need to wrap up, but I just want to ask you one question to close. The woman who is the master, does she become the master before, or is she the kind of woman who has a growth mindset so that even after the things that she doesn't know, she learns, because that makes the relationship better?
The sooner a woman can identify her God-given gifts and begin to put them into practice and utilize them, the more attractive and magnetic she becomes. My example is Abigail.
Yeah. Okay.
Abigail was that way when David met her.
When he met her, that's true.
Right? And she only just continued to grow thereafter, because as you get older, by the grace of God, you get wiser, right? So she only continued to go that way, but she was skillful before she ever met him, because it was that skill set that drew him that he had never seen before.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies. So we got to be working on all these things. Obviously, I've started working on some of those things because of my association with Pastor Legette. Again, the description, the link to his program is in the description. If you just want to talk to him and just get some more information, then you can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor Legette. This was absolutely awesome. As always, I wasn't surprised that you came with the heat. 5 ways women make themselves look desperate and are major turnoffs, and you brought all of them. I'm sure there's many more, but these were like pretty critical. And those things we wouldn't even have thought of, I think. But thank you for sharing. Go ahead.
I know you're closing, but I got to say this. Go back to point number 3. When you're desperate, we see your desperation a mile away.
Yeah.
We see it, we hear it, we know it. And guess what we do with it? We take advantage of it. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Yes.
When you are absolutely desperate. Even if you are, you can't let him know that.
You can't let him know it.
Absolutely not.
But I think if you are, it seeps through your pores. Yeah. I was listening to another podcaster, and he was talking about one of his friends when he was growing up. He said he only used to go after women who were girls that were desperate, and they were girls. And he was like, and he could sniff them out. Like, it was just so weird. He could see them across the mall. And so, ladies, from my perspective, you know, what I teach is how to create a life you love so that you make healthy choices. You're not giving off desperate fumes when you walking down the street, or you walking into camp meeting, or you walking into Federation or whatever. So obviously you can reach me here at singlemission.com. Thank you, Pastor Legette. As we close now, we are so grateful to you. And I just want to read this scripture, Proverbs 31:28. Her children rise up and call her blessed, for her husband also, and he praises her. This is the kind of woman that we want to be, not just to men, but to God. And when we are the women that God wants us to be, then we become the women that man wants us to be as well. And we bring glory and honor to his life, and he praises us. And so we want to be those kind of women. Thank you very much, all of you who were here joining us live again, and those who will watch in the future. We appreciate you. We look forward to having Pastor Legette and his wife come back next month. We will certainly let you know when that's happening. But we have a great episode next week where we have a young lady who's been doing the book, Anita Phillips' book, The Garden Within. She's been studying with the group, and she's going to bring a lot of that information to us. And so we are excited about that. And so we appreciate you. Thank you for watching. And until next time, make choices that will help you live, love, and marry wiser. God bless.